going to be installing the XRS Connect out backpack, and I'm going to do the install of the bracket as well, which I've already started on.
For the first step, I'm just putting some masking tape to protect the paint. So as you can see here, I'm just trying to pry this bit off so I could get under to reach the bolt and the plastic bit that I needed to pop off. So I'm just taking off the bolt here, which was a bit hard because it's a bit of an awkward area. And then I also eventually got off this black bit that was located underneath there as well. And I used these two flathead screwdrivers to kind of get in there and just pull it up.
Alright, so next step, you're going to want to open up your car. See this screw right here? You're going to unscrew that. And make sure you're putting all your screws and stuff in a spot so that you will not lose them. Right, next step is going to be popping this off.
So the next step is to pull this piece here off.
Right, so as you can see, I've pulled this side piece off. So when you're doing this, you kind of just need to like pry it and then make sure you get this bit out from under here and then literally just rip it off. Next thing we're going to do is unscrew this screw. Alright, so I've unscrewed these two screws that were here. Now we're going to push this off. Oh, I got it actually. Yeah. It. Alright, so we're going to unscrew this bit. Right, so this is the bracket here. So I've just placed the 3mm tape on this section here, and we're just going to peel these red bits off. So that's on the tape, and then we're going to use the provided nut and washers to get this on into this first hole, and we're going to use the other bolt that we unscrewed before into this hole. So to avoid the same mistake I did, make sure you put these sort of on at the same time, because you need to put this middle bit here, and you can't do that if you screw this one in first. Just tighten that until it gets nice and tight. Alright, so this is on now. This was really hard. I actually lost the original whatever that is, and it's literally in here somewhere. So I found another one, thank God.
So as you can see, I've attached the antenna to the bracket and screwed that in, and I'm just feeding the wire through to the front so that it's all sitting in the front of the bonnet ready for me to feed it through to the firewall.
Right, so the next step was putting this piece back on, but before you put it back on, you need to cut off the edge to give room for the bracket here. Yeah, and then you just pop that back in there, and then we're going to put all the other things back on that we took off. So I've got this bit back on. This was really hard to get on, and I did have to saw away some metal on the inside so that it could fit. So I do need to put the screws back on the inside and pop that down, and then that's done. Right, so I've got my wire for the antenna that's come through there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this wire and feed it through the firewall. So we're going to put it through like this on the passenger side. So I've gotten the wire running from there in there. I used a chopstick to get it through, and you can sort of see where it's coming through in here. It literally just comes through near the other wires that's bunched together. I used pliers to pull this end and really yank it through. So this is the TLR UHF microphone bracket. This should be pretty straightforward. I'll show you the steps. So the first step is going to be taking this off with some pointy nose pliers. Right, I didn't have pointy nose ones, these are kind of thick as you can see, but I did pull it out. So you just put that on, line it up with the side here, and in here is soft so you can just shove it in. It's not even being held up with a screw right now. It does come with a screw, so we'll put that on now as well. So I'm just tightening this, and it says to only hand screw it, otherwise if you do it too tight you could actually ruin this and crush that because this is a soft material. Right, this is on, so you put that there. Then this also comes with a really small spacer, which you have to unscrew this and put it in between that and that so that this can go onto there like that. So I'll check back in tomorrow when I'm doing the electrical work and wire it all up and actually get this to work. So I'm back today and I'm going to be doing the wiring. Just gone to Repco to buy a few things that you will probably need if you want to wire it the way I'm wiring it, which is through earthing it and the fuse box. So I got this low profile mini inline fuse tap, and then we got some electrical terminals so that we can get it onto our earthing point in the car as well, so that gives it power and connects the circuit. I also got some crimping tools just to crimp the ends of these wires together, and I also just got some zip ties just to tidy up all the wires and stuff at the end. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I've actually done over here. Yesterday I kind of left this hanging, but I've just put some zip ties there to clean it up. So that's the antenna wire going through the front. And so now we're going to get started on all this wiring and put the unit in here and all of that, and then connect it so that it can get working. Right, so for the Jimny XL, your fuse box is located up here. There was like a little panel, which is this one, and this one is like the side thing. Then you just pull it out and just put it to the side, and now you're revealing everything. I've found 2 earthing points, so one here and then one here. I think I'm going to use this one. Right, so I'm just getting some other things sorted before I do the wiring and stuff. So I've got my bracket mounted up here for my box. I literally did it with zip ties. Have a good look. And then I'll screw in the bolts to hold the actual unit. Over here I've cleaned up the cable that attaches to the antenna on the outside that'll go into the back of the box up here, and I've just zip tied that all together so that when I put this away it can neatly tuck into here, hopefully. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, we're going to grab our red wire and we're going to put that in there, use the crimpers to crimp it together, and then we can plug this into our fuse box. Okay, so I've just connected the bit that's going to go into the fuse box to the wire, and also the point where I'm going to put this onto my earthing point. Alright, so we're just going to plug this into the fuse box. As you can see, I've plugged it in to this spot here. Okay, so I finally have my point for the earthing point in. Alright, it's finally working. I've put it on for the accessory fuse instead of the constant because I was having some issues with the fuse that I originally put it in. It was the wrong one. So anyway, I've put it in number 5, which is next to this 15 here, and I've gotten the spare fuse thingy from the control box in the bonnet, and I've put it in there, both of them. So there's 2 of these 5s in this bit, and it's plugged in, and when the car's turned on it works, which I'll show you once I tidy up all these wires. And right, so I've just put that on. Put the screws into the side. You just tighten them with your hand. You don't need to tighten them with a screw or anything. See there, and on that side there as well. So that sits really nicely under here. I'm just going to tidy up these wires, tuck them into the side. Alright, so I've tidied this all up down here. I've got the wire from the back of this unit running across there, zip tied it with the wire for the antenna as well. So it's just sitting nicely back there. I'm going to turn the car on now. Watch this turn on with it. Here we go. So I've got it working now. Yeah, it's pretty good. Might go into the driver's side just to test it out. I'm not sure what happened to the audio here. It seems like it cut out because of the CarPlay, but anyways, I was sitting in the driver's side and it reaches really nicely, which I'm really happy with. Goes on really nicely onto that bracket there, and yeah, I'm just really happy with how it looks. As you can see, it glides in and glides out really smoothly. And here's a closer look of the bracket. Don't judge the masking tape that's there and the little scratch that I put on my car, but anyways, it's barely noticeable, it's fine. And just another close-up of the radio and it going back on. Very happy for not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. So yeah, woo!